A friend of mine, a fellow writer, asked me recently when I found my voice and how did I know where to find it, what it would sound like. I think as a writer and as a depressive, finding my voice, finding myself, so to say, is my own exodus story, is my version of breaking free from slavery, my version of crossing the Red Sea, guided by Moses, to a better place. That exodus moment was a very defined point in my life when I dropped all pretension of what I wanted other people to see, what I wanted other people to believe about me. I was in Johns Hopkins psych unit, and I had just tried to plead with the doctors to discharge me because I claimed that I was not one of them. They said, "I'm sorry to inform you this, but everybody sort of says the same thing, and actually, yes, you are one of them." So I went back to my room and I was just bawling, and there was a man, about a 6-year-old man who had been hospitalized for a year, banging his head against the wall, groaning, "When will it stop?" And I called my friend Mike, and I cried to him on the phone. I said, "What's happened to me?" I said, "I used to be successful. What the hell happened to me?" And he said at that point something that I'll always remember. He said, "Drop it." He said, "Drop all the writing. Drop all of it. It doesn't matter. None of it matters, not in the end. The only thing that matters is love and friendship." He said, "Therese, I don't care if I never see your name printed on anything other than your driver's license and a telephone bill." He said, it doesn't matter. It's all the same to me." He said, "Jesus didn't write anything." Then he said, "Well, maybe a few lines in the sand." He said, "Let it go. You've done enough." And for the first time in my life, I felt loved for who I am, not for what I did. And later that day, Eric articulated the same thing when he said that if I never write anything again, he didn't care. He'd still love me. So with the love and acceptance, the unconditional love and acceptance of those two men in my life, I began to write what was inside of me, what was inside of my heart, for the first time not caring what anybody else thought. Until that point, I didn't write much about the depression and about my struggles with all these voices inside my head and my angst and my anxiety. And after that moment, I didn't care if the world made fun of me because of all that was going inside my head. I wanted to share in spite of looking like a fool. My ego died that day. I think that's why I was able to find my voice and finally express the most intimate thoughts and feelings and experiences I have with my readers, because my ego died. It died that day. And I really think that right there was my exodus, my escape from slavery.